This video is about unit circle. We're going to fill the first quadrant out, but first of all, you should see that the radius of this circle is exactly 1, so I can go from the center out to any point, and that is going to be a distance of 1. Notice that we go from 0 to 30 degrees, 45, 60, 90, and then we continue like that all around the circle. Okay, so you may want to take a second and just get familiar. The degree measures are given to you here. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to find the x and y coordinates of all the points in the first quadrant, and then we'll also go ahead and put in the radian measures too. But I'm going to start off with the x and y coordinates. So first of all, this point right here, I don't need to calculate anything. I can see that this comes in at 0 and 1. So that is finished. Now when I get to this point right here, how do I figure out what this point is? So if you'll look below, it's kind of a blow up here, and I've drawn a right triangle. Okay, so that's my radius, and it has to be 1. This is a 90-degree angle, and because this was 30 degrees, okay, this becomes 30, and this becomes 60. Now, earlier, probably in geometry, you should have learned about right triangles. Okay, 30, 60, 90 right triangles. The short side is half the hypotenuse, and the long side is the hypotenuse times, we can multiply by square root of 3. Well, actually, I'm sorry, I can take the short side and multiply it by the square root of 3, and that gives me this side. Okay, so what would happen in these coordinates is x would be square root of 3 over 2, and y would be 1/2. So we can go ahead and fill that in. Square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. And next I'm going to jump up to the one for 60 degrees, and we can do the same thing, except this angle would be 60 degrees. So this is sort of a blow up of the circle, and if that angle is 60, this angle is 30, and here we have 1. Okay, so the short side is half the hypotenuse, and the long side is the short side times the square root of 3. Okay, so that would give us 1/2 square root of 3 over 2 for those coordinates. And now we have filled in these coordinates at 30 degrees and 60 degrees. And last we're going to do 45. So let's scroll down. And hopefully none of that got cut off, but if it did, you can look back and maybe pause this, study over that. So the last one we're going to do is at 45 degrees. Okay, so this is 45, this will be 45, and 90, radius of 1. Now this makes an isosceles triangle, so these two sides are going to be the same, and we can solve for x with the Pythagorean theorem. So x squared plus x squared is going to be 1, so 2x squared is 1. X squared is going to be 1/2, so x is going to be the square root of 1/2. Now that is square root of 1 over square root of 2, and I don't want a square root in the denominator, so we'll go ahead and rationalize that. So this becomes square root of 2 over 2. Okay, so each of these x's is square root of 2 over 2, and that means that I know the coordinates, and I can go ahead and fill them in at the top. So I get square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. So the last thing that we want is the radian measure. And we've spent a lot of time on radian conversion, so I'm not going to do the long form conversion, but you should know this, and if you need to pause for a second and do the calculation, that's fine, but we're going to go from 0 to pi over 6. This is 45 degrees is pi over 4, and radians 60 degrees is pi over 3, and 90 degrees is pi over 2. Okay, so that is the first quadrant of the unit circle, and actually I should fill this point in too. That one is easy because we can see it. Okay, so just make sure you understand where these are coming from. In the next video, we're going to fill the rest of it out. All we need to do is basically use reference angles, and if you know quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4 come easily, and then we're going to show you there's a lot of power to knowing this, because you really don't need to memorize anything to evaluate trig functions if you know this very well. All right, so look forward to seeing you in the next video.